Hi guys, so we just want to have a chat today about how we can keep each other safe during this time. So I've got Rich on the line, and obviously Rich, we have loads of community champions at the moment, which is brilliant. It's amazing how many people are volunteering and wanting to help at this time. But I just wanted to know if there's anything you wanted to say about keeping each other safe at the moment.
Yeah, I think lots of people are going to want to help their neighbours during this time, and it's really important that we pause and we think about how this virus spreads and how we can go about preventing that from spreading even further. So in terms of tips around keeping yourself safe, particularly if you're a community champion or someone that wants to help in your street, we produced a little help sheet that can help people, and that'll be made available via Gloucester City Council website. But in terms of keeping yourself safe, avoid contact with someone who's displaying symptoms of coronavirus. And there's things like including a high temperature and or a new or continuous cough. I mean, a lot of this stuff isn't new. It's out there on the news channels already. But please don't use public transport unless it's absolutely necessary. Work from home where possible, and employers should be able to enable you to do that. And avoid gatherings of 2 or more people. I think that's the government advice at the moment. And then keep in touch with friends and family using remote technology like the phone or the internet, or you can use Facebook or WhatsApp groups and all that kind of stuff. But it's really important that we learn to communicate in different ways so that we can do more of our communication as we are at the moment. So this is we're recording this on an online platform called Zoom, and we can share some details around how you can use Zoom if you haven't accessed it before. And then if you do need to go to the GP, I think they're recommending that you use their telephone or online services. But we really need to avoid contact with each other as much as possible. And we know that's really difficult because as human beings, we want to help and we want to be there with each other. But we also need to play our part in preventing the virus from spreading and being responsible.
That's really good. And what about local helplines? Is there places that people can go if they're concerned?
Yeah, there are. So certainly here in Gloucestershire, you can visit the Gloucestershire County Council Community Hub. So if you go onto their website, they have an online form where you can fill out your details on there, and that goes through to all the various district councils. If you're not on the internet, then you can use their telephone line, which is 01452 583 519. Then there are local organisations that are also doing some helplines as well. So Age UK Gloucestershire are offering a friendly chat, so they can match you up with another volunteer. So if you can direct perhaps some of our older residents in the county onto their telephone number, which is 0800 298 0579. And I think the Guidepost Trust also have a service as well for people that are self-isolating and need some help or support through this time of change and uncertainty. So their number is 0800 048 7035. So yeah, there's a few points of contact, and obviously there are also localised help groups. So there's a number of what's called mutual aid groups, which are popping up online, particularly on Facebook. I think there's probably about 12 or so in Gloucester alone. So if you type into Facebook mutual aid groups in Gloucestershire, you'll probably find one in your area. So do have a look at those.
Great, that's super. Thanks, Rich. And just lastly, anything to do with kind of welfare concerns?
Yeah, so I think it's important that we do continue to keep an eye on safeguarding. So if you're in contact with a neighbour and you are concerned about someone's welfare, there are still a few things that you can do during this time. And of course, it's really important that you remain calm and gentle. So if you're talking to that person on the telephone or over a video call, you just listen very calmly and gently to what they're saying, and give people time to talk and think. The information that is often important to collect are things like name, age, and address of the person at risk, why you're concerned, some details about who might be living with them, and what your relationship to that person is. So whether you're a neighbour or whether it's a friend who lives locally. And also make sure you collect the date of the contact with that person. So if it's an immediate safety issue around a vulnerable adult or child, continue to make the police aware by dialing 101 or 999 in an emergency. And if you feel that you need to raise a safeguarding alert with a vulnerable adult, you can talk to your local counsellor. They will be able to help and offer advice, or you can contact Gloucestershire County Council's Adult Help Desk. So we'll give you those numbers as well. So the Adult Help Desk is 01452 426 868, or the Children and Families Help Desk, which again is a Gloucester number, 01452 426 565. It may be important to remember that those services may also be inundated at the moment, so please exercise patience whilst our colleagues in those services are able to respond. Hopefully that gives you kind of a few hints and tips around how to look out for welfare and safeguarding concerns. But I think the most important message that we want to give anyone that's kind of wanting to help their neighbours and support each other in their community is it's really important that they keep themselves safe. So please do not put yourself at risk, even though that demand, that instinct in you to help may be really, really strong. It's really important that you think carefully. So I'm just looking through the notes here around what you can do. And typically I've skipped over the wrong page, but hey, not to worry. Things that you can do then, please don't enter other people's houses. And observe social distancing. And we'll talk a little bit about social distancing in a minute. Wear gloves if you're making deliveries, and ideally these are disposable gloves that you can get rid of. So if you're dropping off shopping, please wear gloves if you can. Use hand sanitizer regularly, and wash your hands regularly. I think these are common sense things that we know we're hearing from national government, but we just want to re-emphasise them. And I've also heard advice around washing clothes as well after being in public areas. So if you have been out, when you come home, take your clothes off, put them directly in the washing machine. Some people are advising that you put your clothes in a black bag so your skin doesn't touch the clothes, and then transfer the bag directly into the washing machine, put it on straight away, and then you go and have a shower. So I'm sure there'll be more and more advice that comes out over the next days. You know, we're not experts in this. We're learning as everybody else is learning. But we think it's really important that if you are wanting to help your neighbours in your community, that you do take heed of some of the guidance that's coming out from national government. So just a little bit in terms of social distancing that we mentioned earlier, because we're hearing a lot about that term. Basically, social distancing is keeping your distance from other people, with exception of your family who you live with. And I think the advice at the moment is keep 2 meters distance. So that's often why if you get a delivery at the door, you'll find your delivery person is standing right at the bottom of the steps or quite a distance. So it's really important that we continue to observe that social distancing. But there's a little bit of a reframe in that as well, that whilst we're observing social distancing, we also want to make sure that we're doing distance socializing. So this is not about you kind of shutting yourself off from the world. It's really important that we all continue to retain some sort of connection with each other so we can ask for help when we need it, but that connection just can't be physical at the moment.
That's great. Thanks.
Thanks very much.